make blueberry pies. I have been seeing these all over TikTok and Pinterest, so of course I had to try it. You're going to start by taking a pie crust and cutting out the shape of a ghost. Make sure you do this twice because you need the bottom of the pie and the top of the pie. I think this would be way easier if you had like a ghost cookie cutter, but I didn't have one, so I just drew out a ghost stencil. Next, add your pie filling. We used blackberry and blueberry filling. Add a little bit of water along the edge so it lets the pie crust like secure to itself easier, and then push down the edges with a fork. Next, you're going to add your egg wash all over the top of your little ghosty and then throw them in the oven for whatever the directions say on your pie crust. Ours was 12 minutes at 375 and our ghost was bleeding, but he was still delicious. Let's make some delicious ranch baked pumpkin seeds. The first thing you want to do is carve your pumpkin, obviously, and then separate and clean the seeds. You're going to add a little bit of olive oil, a little bit of melted butter, some salt, and part of a packet of ranch seasoning. Now, I can't tell you how much because you're just going to kind of have to measure this out based on how many seeds you have. Spread them out as evenly as you can on a baking pan and bake them at 250 for 45 minutes. These are going to come out perfectly brown and crispy, and they are absolutely ranchy delicious.
How I made this puking pumpkin. See, look, bleh, puking pumpkin. All right, so I started by putting on some safety goggles, go safety first, and then I grabbed a power washer, and then I just started carving into the pumpkin with the power washer, and this is literally the most satisfying thing I've ever done. Like, I love carving pumpkins, but oh my gosh, carving a pumpkin with a power washer, this is the second time I've done it this year, and I am obsessed. I think this is the only way I'm going to carve pumpkins from now on. That's actually probably a lie. I really like carving pumpkins, but anyways, so yeah, I carved the pumpkin with the power washer, and then, of course, all the water is going to be inside the pumpkin, and everyone who asked, no, we did not carve the pumpkin ahead of time. I didn't cut open the top. I didn't clear out the seeds. You literally just start with pumpkin, use the power washer, and it just carves into the pumpkin, and then blah, you have a puking pumpkin. And yes, I'm probably going to have a whole pumpkin patch in the yard next year. And yes, for those who asked, the power washer did go through the back of the pumpkin a little bit, and it did bust some holes in the back. So look at that. You can see straight through the pumpkin. Let's make a delicious 2-ingredient pumpkin spice cake. All you're going to need is 1 can of pumpkin and 1 box of spice cake mix. Throw them in a bowl together and mix them up really, really well. You can bake this in any type of pan that you would like, but we used a bundt cake pan. That way it would kind of look like the top of a pumpkin. Bake it at 350 degrees Fahrenheit for 40 minutes. If you would like for this to be your final finished cake, that is perfect. This cake is delicious as is, but like I said, we wanted ours to look like the top of a pumpkin. So we made some orange icing by mixing together red and yellow food coloring, and then we made stripes all over our cake to try to kind of replicate a pumpkin. And we ended up accidentally making 2 different shades of orange icing, but it turned out so much cuter that way. And then of course we needed a stem for our pumpkin, and we realized we could just like twist up a brown napkin and then it looked like a stem, and it's so cute. And then finally it was time for the taste test, and y'all, I am not kidding, this is the most delicious pumpkin spice cake I've ever had. Let's make a decoration that lasts from fall all the way through winter. This was inspired by a craft I saw on the craftpatchblog.com. Hers was like way bigger than this and way cuter than this, but I still love how mine turned out. So you start by attaching 3 slices of wood with dowel rods, and then you paint one side of them orange like pumpkins and put some fall decor. Oh, and don't forget the stem at the top. And then when you flip it around, now we're getting ready for winter. We're going to paint them white like a snowman, and then I decided to go ahead and crochet a little toboggan and crochet him a scarf. Oh, and of course I had to make a little poof for the top of the toboggan, and I just think it turned out so cute. Then I added on some eyes and a little carrot nose, and look, winter. It's a whole little winter decoration, and whenever you flip him around, he's a fall decoration. Let's make a Dollar Tree DIY Halloween wreath. Grab yourself a wreath base and a bunch of these mesh tubes in Halloween colors and whatever type of skeleton that your Dollar Tree has. Start by cutting your mesh tubes into a bunch of little strips like this, and then just tie them on to the base of the wreath. That is literally it. Just keep tying them in alternating colors, and this is so stinking cute. I'm definitely going to do this again for Christmas with Christmas colors, but for the Halloween one, I wanted it to look like the skeleton is like jumping out of the door, so I wire tied his hands and his head to the wreath, and look at this. Look at how this turned out. It looks like he's just popping through the door like, hello.
Today's going to be the coziest, best Halloween day ever. There's a bakery in Nashville, Nashville Sweets, and they're doing Hocus Pocus themed treats. So obviously we are at Nashville Sweets. We're gonna grab some treats. We're gonna go home, watch Hocus Pocus 1 and 2, and catch up on our temperature blanket. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh, look at these candied apples. I'm freaking out. Look how cute this is. This is, I have no words. Look at those toes. Let's go crochet and watch Hocus Pocus.
We have to start with number 1.
I'm so excited!
Let's make toilet paper pumpkins. I think these are adorable, especially to keep in the bathroom as just, an extra place to store toilet paper. All you need is any sort of fall-looking napkin and a roll of toilet paper and some sort of little stick. All you do is lay your toilet paper on it and then start to fold the napkin and tuck it into the center of your toilet paper and then just stick the stick in the middle. And that is literally a super cute, super fun, festive fall way to store your toilet paper.
I'm having some friends over for one of their birthdays, and oh my gosh, look what I found. It's October, so obviously everything is fall themed. And I found edible leaves. These are the cutest thing I've ever seen. So we're just gonna have like a cake of fallen leaves. This is so cute. Now for the topper. It's so cute.